Hello my dear friends, and a warm welcome once again to PeRuPlays, coming to you fresh from the most stunningly beautiful island in the world, Cyprus. I'm PeRu, greetings to all. Today, we continue our journey in RoadCraft, and in the previous episode, I found myself a bit lost and stuck. Fortunately, the game appeared to have a touch of mercy on me, and now I find myself free once more. I have a sneaking suspicion that perhaps I might need to retrieve our package once more. Let's take a closer look. Ah, there it is, there it is. Alright, let's go ahead and pick that up once more, folks. Don't forget, if you appreciate it here, feel free to show some love, like, follow, it doesn't hurt, and ring the bell, subscribe, and all that. I would genuinely appreciate it. Thank you. Alright, let's determine if we can successfully manage to get this situation sorted out here. I recall that we drove over the ramp in this location, and we are going to proceed to do that once more now. It seems that I am able to traverse in only one direction. It functions properly on the journey there, but not on the return trip due to the gap present in the pallet that hinders our ability to come back. That means at first here. Now I see there's another routing problem here. We'll take care of it right away. Oh folks, what precisely is transpiring here once more? Why is there a calamity occurring in the game yet again? What exactly is happening here? So, what exactly do we have here at this moment? The vehicle has unfortunately failed on the designated route, so what should we do now? Deploying the vehicles. Whether it will genuinely make a substantial difference, I'm not entirely certain. But nevertheless, they are on the move once again. Consequently, we have to connect this apparatus here, and at this moment now, we cannot return the way we originally entered here. What does that mean? Where exactly? Kindly hold on for a brief moment. There's an elevated platform back there, and we might be able to descend from that point, I think. Let's attempt it. I'll go ahead and connect our power generator, as I believe that's precisely what we were supposed to retrieve in this location. I'll go ahead and connect it now. How do I want to do it again now? One sec, adjusting wind conditions. Is the route failing once more? I'm genuinely becoming quite frustrated with this situation, truly. Let's see. I must sincerely admit, I have not quite become fully accustomed to selecting the appropriate winch points as of yet. From my perspective, they executed that more efficiently in SnowRunner. All-wheel drive, that needs to be on. Let's take the differential lock off. Oh dear, I believe I'm about to clear absolutely everything off the path at this moment. However, we must proceed onward in some manner. Hello, continue onward, come on, we really need to get out of this place. Oh dear, I can scarcely bear to look. In this particular direction, young gentleman. Oh god, wait a moment. I think I need to back up a bit, otherwise we won't make it around the curve. Oh my goodness. I can already perceive that this particular game is going to require a significant amount of my patience. Okay, just a small nudge should be sufficient. Alright, let's proceed. Yes, the arrow is already pointing in the right direction. I think we're in the right place here. Oh my goodness, an actual dream indeed. Well, we should most likely keep the differential lock engaged, as I believe that is the most appropriate course of action. So, indeed, we have successfully completed the mission. I genuinely thought we would be stuck on this indefinitely right at the very start. Boy, oh boy, so mission accomplished. I like everything on deck. Which is especially great, since I had nobody else to rely on. You're the only contractor in the sector. The fate of everything rests upon you. No pressure. Besides, the only thing left to do is to build the flood wall before the storm hits. First, you'll need to scoop up some concrete slabs. there should be plenty around your base. Naturally, you'll want to use the crane to move them, then you need to drop them off in the loading area. Easy as pie, right? Hold on. First and foremost, I have acquired a new vehicle, which I believe is rather excellent. Let's take a look. We have 2 missions now. Did I get that right? Kindly hold on for a brief moment. Krantrack, Kronwerk, and mission objectives. Establish a route for delivering the generator. I believe that should be the initial task. At this point, we have already extracted the generator from the muck here. Alright, let's take a look. Initially, there's a secondary path over here. I sincerely hope the older trucks are capable of handling this. Yes, this is the main road again. We already know it. Colleagues have driven here already. Here's the gate we forced open. Yes. And then right at this specific location, where is it intended to proceed further? Over in that direction to the phosphate manufacturing facility. In that particular case, I would recommend that we proceed with it. At this current moment, we do not have a more precise target display available, correct? This suggests that we are in the process of establishing a route for the colleagues once again. Certainly indeed incorporate a point, quite outstanding. Therefore, I sincerely hope that the colleagues successfully navigate through these puddles. I truly hope so, as I don't currently perceive any significantly better alternatives at this moment. I'll use the mouse again. I'm always kind of rotating back and forth in this game. I engage in this game on the personal computer, alternating between using the controller and the mouse. Certainly, it is significantly more effective with the controller, but the route planning for the convoys operates much more efficiently with the mouse, as we observed in the initial segment. You can perform much more precisely, particularly with the curves, if you desire to make them somewhat smoother so they can navigate through, correct? Yes. At this point, you can already observe the alternative route from the initial convoy, and it naturally intersects here at this moment. We truly and genuinely just need to continue following the pathway we have already meticulously laid out. I consistently endeavor to prevent making the intervals excessively lengthy so that I am still capable of performing some editing. In any case, I sincerely intended to produce a new episode earlier, but there is a significant abundance of activity happening currently. You have seen the new multilingual channel, so to speak, that I have set up, and they need some content, which means the synchronization has to be done first and things like that. It necessitates an extraordinary amount of time, so kindly forgive me if it took a while for the new episode to be released. I need to observe initially how it progresses, and if it proves successful, how we can manage it in the future so that all 3 channels can release content simultaneously. Ideally with the same episode in each language. Indeed, we need to observe. As I mentioned, please extend some patience towards me, as it can sometimes become chaotic and it might take a bit longer. My apologies, but it truly can't be avoided. Therefore, at this point, we are in the process of dispatching the vehicle. It seems that the gentlemen are getting ready to embark on their journey, and I think that is quite advantageous. Let's watch here and see how he gets through. I sincerely hope that everything fits perfectly, and considering this is an older model truck, I truly hope it doesn't disappoint us in this situation. So if we do, we'll also take the time to enjoy ourselves a bit here, as we want to see a little of what there is. You can really tell the weather is getting more unpleasant, so I think I need to speed up a bit in the truest sense of the word. So I believe the truly crucial point was right at the very beginning with the water source. Do you think we should wait for another one, or is there an alternative? Let's take a brief look. Oh, there's another automobile from our original convoy advancing up ahead. That's exactly what I find delightful. The convoys keep moving and naturally add a bit of life to the map. Oh, another is coming from behind. There's a lot happening here. Peru is causing traffic on the country roads here. Unfortunately, I can't turn the camera now. It's a cinematic camera. It's fixed. It's a pity. I would have liked to see what's driving behind us. I believe that this supply convoy, which we established in the initial episode, cannot be anything else. Therefore, it should be arriving shortly. No, we had already moved beyond the water source. All right. Indeed, not much should occur here any longer. We are back at the farm. Then we should also receive the success message here shortly. Yes, we briefly saw the colleague back there on the right, so we're unloading now. The doors open automatically, which is very helpful. Thank you. At least I don't have to get out in this awful weather. That's something at least. There's another colleague coming. Oh, so they're picking up several generators, is that right? All right, that's absolutely wonderful. Excellent. Then please bring the concrete tiles over to the designated loading area. All right, now I find myself intrigued. Here arrives our dear Pat. Our Pat the mole has previously given me a warning. Now the crane is approaching. They're my favorites in this game. So this appears to be our apparatus. Oh my, it seems like it has been in existence for quite a number of years, I would say. Now I need to quickly see how this works. Activate crane function with LB for additional control elements. RB concrete slabs nearby are a resource you can store. Load them into the loading zone with the crane. Wishing you the very best of luck. I'm curious to see if I don't mess this up right away. You know, I'm always the loser at the crane in these kinds of games. However, I've also experienced a somewhat challenging period with ships Etsy, where we are currently conducting numerous crane operations. At this point, I'm fairly accustomed to it. Therefore, the braking system, the brake is indeed activated, and the handbrake is thoroughly engaged indeed. So, the crane's operational function, the anchor, yes, our support mechanisms. Well, I must mention I don't believe anchor is such an outstanding translation. Folding crane at this particular moment. Please hold on for a brief moment. Crane control system. So at this precise moment, alright, that is indeed it. Oh my goodness. From which exact location is the colleague arriving? Here? Ah, alright. Oh, this will definitely require some time to become fully accustomed to Mr. Colleague. Let's observe. Is it still possible for me to modify the view at this point? I'm uncertain, my friends. Nevertheless, it is necessary for us to verify at this moment. What is the procedure for engaging the load coupling mode at this particular moment in time? Oh, I see. Here we can select one point or multiple points. Ensure the load is secured properly. Indeed, I honestly did not even plan to do that. Continue through the objectives. I meant to secure it in that specific manner with the shoe fully extended. All right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can perceive it already. This possesses the potential to evolve into something quite significant here. This possesses the potential to evolve into something quite significant here. It won't enhance any further. Well, all right. I am capable of managing the boom. Is there anything additional? During the concluding rotation, I find myself unable to completely reach it, and I think I must drive a bit further as there's no other option. I believe I must maneuver it slightly closer. So, alright, we are securely anchored once again. Is that adequate? Indeed, thank goodness it is adequate for him, thank you very much. There remains gracefulness in this world. So, at this particular point, we must, as you can observe, I sometimes inadvertently continue to steer my truck instead of the crane. I truly need to become accustomed to this initially, but we will manage, we will indeed manage. Somehow we will manage, but not any further. However, it extends somewhat further. Naturally, I would certainly prefer to position it a little more centrally. So everyone, you'll need to be somewhat patient with me. It will take a little while until I've completely figured this out. Alright, precisely how much do we actually require? 6. Oh no, please, come on, come over here. We ought to be capable of managing this with considerable ease here. Precisely, indeed, that was the most straightforward, I would assert. That was the easiest. Consequently, we have 3 out of 6 concerning the rope length, and I still need a little additional time to become thoroughly familiar with it. Yet progress is indeed being made. Progress is indeed being made. It's truly not as challenging as I originally expected. It is not especially terrible, nearly directly at our feet, right? Nevertheless, in any event, the main objective is to remove the items present here. It's gone. Do we have anything else nearby here? That does not precisely appear to be it. I genuinely believe we truly need to relocate as well. Well, I would most likely say folding crane, precisely. Alright, he folds it utilizing the folding crane. Then let us proceed to take out the anchor. Now, of course, we need to take a look at where there are still tiles lying around here. I am currently unable to perceive anything at this moment. Please hold on for just a moment, as there appears to be something glimmering back there. Consistently along the wall. Where could she be then? There are 2. So, now we are nicely at the patient's joint. That should work. Anchor. So everyone, I kindly ask for your patience with me. I still need to become a bit more acquainted with the crane here. I'm still in the exploratory phase, so to speak. Where was this again? Oh right, I need to connect it first. We didn't want it like that. Alright, so, yet another route has unfortunately failed once more. Everyone, I'm becoming increasingly frustrated with the situation here. What exactly is happening with this convoy? In any case, we shall observe how we can effectively manage to transport this plate over to this location more or less without encountering any unfortunate accidents. Oh dear, that is certainly not good. That is definitely not good at all. If I do not drop him off at this very moment, I am simply going to lose consciousness, just like that. This is undoubtedly somewhat of a test of one's patience in this situation. You must convey it as it genuinely is. There is no more agreeable manner to express it. This continues to be the most remarkable characteristic. I merely wish to confirm, are these truly all the viewpoints we possess? Wait just a moment, I just want to take a quick look. Apologies, my friends. Because, hold on a moment, camera alignment, player orientation towards the north, follow perspective. Hold on a moment, let's adopt the follow perspective here. Let's see what he tells us then. Well, that doesn't really assist me much either. Then we can also stay in the player direction. Are there no additional options available for the exterior view? That appears to be somewhat nonsensical. So in any case, we still require documentation. We require one additional record. There are more than sufficient lying around. It was somewhat too close at this moment. That was somewhat too much of a good thing in this situation. Halt. Apply the brakes. Drop the anchor. Particularly with extending and retracting the boom, indeed, I truly need to become accustomed to that. Higher, right? Therefore, in order to prevent us from tipping over to the side immediately, I will attempt to position the crane towards the rear. I sincerely hope it does not pull us backward, but instead allows us to drive in a somewhat normal manner. I need to try a few things first to see how it works best. So, the support system is extended, or as they prefer to refer to it here, the anchor. The perspective is currently arranged in such a manner that I find myself positioned with the view oriented towards the rear by the anchor rather than by my automobile. That is somewhat less than optimal. Concerning the camera perspective, I would greatly appreciate it if you could take another look at it on my behalf. While it is almost perfect, as I have mentioned before, I would still prefer a different viewpoint in this particular situation. If anyone has tips, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm truly thankful for any helpful tips shared here. At this particular juncture, we are most definitely back on the correct path. Virtually nothing can feasibly go wrong at this point. Almost. Alright, that seems satisfactory. Alright, what do you mean? The resources are securely stored in the warehouse, which is accessible from each of your bases. On each individual map, you have the ability to unlock access to several interconnected bases. In order to successfully complete your current mission objective, resources must be securely stored in your base's designated warehouse. So, what exactly do you require from me? Store the resources. We have already completed the task of storing 6 concrete tiles. What additional requirements does he have? Before we proceed any further, let's ensure that the crane is brought back inside first. Marvelous. Greetings to all. I am quite interested in comprehending what exactly is occurring here at this particular moment. Modify the perspective. That is rather bothersome to me, dear friends. Please do not be upset with me, but it genuinely has a substantial amount to do with visibility, whether you are able to load effectively or not. This is already considerably significant to me. What do we currently have present here? A retro alternative. Oh, I have experimented with a variety of control methods. Standard, you can use the crane while in motion, but simultaneous inputs are limited. In retro mode, you are able to fully control the crane once it is in a static position, but you are no longer able to utilize the crane while it is in motion. I'll leave it like this for now. Alright, the mission's primary objective is to deliver the concrete in a smooth and efficient manner to the designated loading area. Yes, transferring the necessary resources. Mission objective completed. Ta-da. Man, that really makes you break out in a sweat. Subsequently, convey it to the phosphate processing facility, and should you feel inclined to accumulate supplementary supplies, you might contemplate devising a route between the storage facility and the forward operating base. It's not obligatory, but it will certainly streamline matters for you in the future. Alright, let's ascertain what he necessitates from us. We need to transport resources into the specified area, particularly 3 concrete slabs and 2 steel beams. Alright, those are duly accounted for. Now where is all the equipment situated? From which location should I retrieve that? That's the crucial question at this moment. First, let's remove the anchor from this spot, since we are not presently loading anything to obtain the resources. Press to open the warehouse menu, then select A on the desired resource. Kindly hold on for a brief moment. It appears quite probable that we will necessitate the utilization of the utility truck once more for the purpose of loading, I do believe. So just to jot down a few notes, we are in need of 2 steel beams so that they become visible. Alright. Now we have concrete tiles situated here. It's all blocking the path. What exactly is happening? 1, 2, 3. Why is it that there are only 2? Why do I only have 2 concrete tiles in there? That can't be true. Alright, let's initially load what we currently possess. I am presently contemplating how we might accomplish this in the most straightforward manner. So certainly the concrete tiles should be prioritized first. Nevertheless, I presently possess only 2 of them, which implies I need to search around the site, as there were several scattered about, so we can retrieve one. Otherwise, it will not work out here. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We desire this particular one precisely in this manner. So let us simply connect it, elevate it, and then let us observe. Is that sufficient? Is it sufficient to load it onto the vehicle? I suppose most likely not, correct? There he continues alongside me. Simply wonderful. Alright, let's proceed with plan B. Initially, we shall position both of the concrete tiles right here, directly in front of the truck. Afterward, we will retrieve the 3rd tile and stack all 3 together, followed by the steel beams as well. You are aware the weather is worsening progressively, and I must proceed swiftly here, but what can be done? It progresses at its own pace, as I frequently like to mention. Ah, there is the 3rd one situated over there. Alright, it is advantageous to be cognizant of that. Advantageous indeed, so will it operate effectively? Well, then he is nearly on the tire here, correct? Let us leave it at that point, alright? That ought to be sufficient. I just observed we also need to access the plate back there. It was still designated as a target, so let us see if we can maneuver it over to us. Then we'll load that one first. He's there. Well, if that happens to be the situation, then all 4 O's. It's not particularly easy in this situation. It's not particularly easy, but we're gradually finding our way through it, dear friends. We're gradually finding our way through it. Alright, in this particular situation, we possess the flexibility to alternate between utilizing the crane and the vehicle, whether it be a car or a truck, my apologies. At this moment, it may not appear aesthetically pleasing, what I'm currently doing, I apologize for that, but bam! Therefore, at this point, I would suggest that we proceed to relocate the truck momentarily, ensuring that we load everything up initially, and subsequently, the steel beams will arrive, and then we shall observe what transpires. I would propose. So much for the theory. It ultimately turned out in this particular manner, although I find myself uncertain. Theoretically speaking, it should indeed work out in this specific way. I sincerely hope that I am correct about that as well. So let's see if we can manage this here. At this particular point in time, we must undertake all the necessary adjustments, otherwise it will not operate correctly. Yes, fortunately, I have become somewhat familiar with swinging loads here thanks to Chip, etc. Fortunately, receiving some initial preparation for the game was genuinely a dream realized. So, everyone, let's determine if it functions properly here. Not quite yet, we need to adjust it a little further. He continuously turns a little further. He's not being a jerk in this situation. Please refrain from causing any disruptions here at this moment. Yes, indeed, it is functioning, it is functioning, it is functioning. So, I am already able to perceive that this particular game is not beneficial for my nerves, correct? I can definitely tell. I already possess a heartbeat once more, but it all contributes. Kindly refrain from complaining. The circumstances have to proceed. At least it has stopped raining. There is still a bit of mercy present here. That almost seemed too flawless at this particular moment. Please hold on for a brief moment. Just a little bit back, slightly to the right, Captain. I truly appreciate it, everyone. This is almost looking quite excellent here. Almost there, almost there. Oh boy, just the plate and a couple of steel beams remaining, and then my nerves will be completely shot for the day once more. Yes, that's how it is. Examine the objectives thoroughly. We shall secure this particular one in this location and elevate it upwards. We need to ascertain if it continues to be practical to place the steel beams on top of these two buildings right here. I genuinely hope it is somewhat elevated, otherwise I might harm the roof and end up in difficulty with the supervisor once again. Stay calm, stay calm. Please pull in a bit more gently. Rotate slightly, that was too much. When you rotate it, it oscillates back for a rather extended duration, you know? I believe, you know, that's not ideal. No, I do not appreciate that, I do not appreciate that. The objective is exceedingly perilous. Consequently, this could potentially be effective. Please wait a moment. There is 1 millimeter missing at the back once again. My nerves are utterly frayed and I simply cannot handle this situation any longer. My nerves are completely shot. I feel like I'm on the verge of a breakdown. Certainly he is starting to go off once again here, and I am also beginning to lose my composure. Therefore, young gentlemen, that absolutely cannot be the case. Alright, we are still missing 2 steel plates, just 2 steel plates, as I have already mentioned. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to each and every single one of you who has successfully managed to make it to this point and has watched the entire episode in its entirety. I am fully aware that it is quite exhausting being with me today, but take solace in the fact that I'm also enduring it alongside you. Therefore, I sincerely hope that everything remains intact now as I align it all side by side in this particular manner. That would actually be my plan. Proceed a bit further to the right, slightly more forward, a tad further forward. No, just a little bit more. Indeed, just barely we can permit it to glide, right? I certainly hope so. Just one additional steel beam, and then we will be finished here. So, should we simply pull it over to this spot now? We shall not hesitate, we will keep it concise. Allow me a moment to contemplate, let's proceed to relocate. Is it not possible for us to shift over? Come on. I am unable to see that, and it is currently irritating me. Therefore, let us remove the length of the rope so that we are able to attach it properly. Yes, indeed, everything is perfectly fine. It fits, it sits, it shakes, it has sufficient room, and it fits. So following the completion of this assignment, I genuinely require an additional week off, correct? I'm not joking, I'm truly exhausted. Continue onward, continue onward. Certainly, you can indeed handle that particular situation. It's absolutely acceptable, it's neatly organized, and assistance is readily available. Alright, so there is our colleague. Maybe I should release the brake. Good idea. So I hope I still know the way. He should. Wait, which zone is he supposed to go to now? No, we absolutely must return to the phosphate storage area. Well, let's hope that not everything here has become completely soaked yet, because otherwise we'll encounter a significantly challenging drive. Oh dear, I can already envision it. I can foresee it occurring once more in this situation. This will inevitably result in ripped trousers once again. I haven't managed to distribute the weight in a very effective manner, you know, with the 2 steel rings positioned over here on the left-hand side. I sincerely hope it turns out well. I was fully aware there was a hidden complication. I believe I shall choose the slightly longer pathway here because it is simply cleaner. We are embarking on a minor detour at this moment, yet the route remains relatively safe. For that reason, I'm willing to take a slight detour of about 1 or 2 meters. I can live with that. This way to the left it continues. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. It's all a matter of nerves. I will activate the differential lock once again. Ah, here come our colleagues, so we should proceed with a bit more caution. We definitely wouldn't want to accidentally run over our own convoy, as that would be quite unfortunate. If we are faster, we can overtake them. Snail race here. We're not much faster, but a little bit, yes. It is adequate that we successfully managed to get past him. Indeed, I am fully aware, and I find that to be quite remarkable. At this moment, we are being summoned, and I find it quite pleasant. Indeed, very pleasant. I am capable of comprehending him. Nonetheless, we must advance forward, as we do not have the luxury of time to remain in this location. The storm is coming soon, so everything must be weatherproof. Is this our exit here? I really hope so. Please, do not mess around in this location. Yes, this looks much better here again. Just a moment, just a moment, just a moment. I believe I'll take a quick glance at the map, initially to the left and subsequently to the right. Alright, let's apply a little bit of acceleration. We certainly do not desire to impede the advancement of our esteemed colleagues here, nor do we wish to postpone our own responsibilities. So hooray, we have successfully achieved it. Absolutely, the tempest is approaching. However, you possess the opportunity to contemplate your accomplishments. Relish it. Such occasions are infrequent. But the folks in that town aren't. Indeed, the tasks here are perpetual, therefore we must persist in constructing the flood defenses for the phosphate processing facility. However, I would assert that we have deserved a brief respite for the moment. Folks, I hope you enjoyed it. If so, show some love, give a thumbs up, ring the bell, and feel free to subscribe. You know how it goes. And yes, I'd like to thank you for watching. See you next time.